everybody, welcome back to another Space Engineers news, update news, whatever you have it. And I've looked through this. I did this as a bit of a reaction earlier, but due to my mic not working the way it wants to, I have to use the mic on the camera, so you guys are going to hear quite a bit of background noise, like my squeaky chair, my spoiled little cat who will be joining us in this video. Look at her, she's absolutely adorable. You probably can't see her, but she's hiding. But you know, so I'm gonna go back over. I'm gonna do this again, and this video will probably be shorter than my original. So we're getting a bunch of new stuff: a target lock reticle, targeting lock systems, turrets, target lead indicators, targeting subsystems, basically weapon core scaled down. Because whereas weapon core, you can target very specific systems on someone's ship, this one you kind of target a very broad system, a set of systems of your own choosing. Maximum effective range setup, setup actions, basically things you can have happen when your ship is locked on. You can have a set of actions to activate, so if you're more of a defensive player, you don't want to be locked on by certain groups or by certain signals or certain factions. You can, when they lock onto you and they start engaging you, as soon as they lock on, before they can even fire, your system's defenses boost up and then you're harder to hit. Like I said before, subsystem targeting, Decoy, which they're keeping a lot of stuff about the Decoy a little secretive. They said that a lot of stuff is under the hood. We'll get to that when we get there. And then there's target information, which is a really nice immersive part that we will get into here soon. So the target reticle is if the ship is within 2 kilometers of you or of your ship, then a reticle, a type of ring, will appear around them, and depending on the owner of that grid, their status to you, if they are a neutral, an enemy, or a friendly, then that reticle will be different. So, you know, it's pretty obvious white is neutral, green is friendly, red is enemy, the very typical kind of lock-on or identification color code, whatever you call it. The very obvious and universal one. You have, I don't know what it is for colorblind. I don't know. But one thing that we do notice is that let's think really quick. Let's look at some. If you guys notice right here on that little picture, that barrel is not the same as what is on those turrets. That looks to be on a small grid fighter, so there's a brand new weapon coming in for the fighters, it looks like, which I'm kind of hoping for a Warfare 3 update to introduce all that, but oh well. Cat, what are you doing up there? It's a mess. It's a mess like everything else in this room. So, yeah. Tools, if you have a tool equipped onto your ship, it will not target. You can't lock onto something when you have it active. So as long as you don't have it set up to be active, then you can lock on to stuff. But as soon as you activate a welder or a grinder or some kind of tool, then you're not going to be able to lock on. In order to lock on, you have to have a few prerequisites. You have to have a weapon. It can be static or automated, so it can be a turret, or it can be a Gatling turret, or it could be an artillery turret. It could be a missile launcher, or whatever that new thing is up there in the front. As long as you have one of those, then you can lock onto a target, and it will give you quite a good amount of information. So, you know, that's basically what it is. And you can enable and disable target locking from your from your cockpit just by enabling or disabling the system. So you don't have to have like a cockpit. You can also have just like a command console or command station of some kind. Just, you know, something to where you can sit and like pilot, essentially, along with a weapon, and then you'll have that. So target locking, the bigger the grid is, the more easier it is to lock onto that grid because they have larger signatures. So smaller ones are harder to lock onto, and then the further you are, as well, the further away, the harder it's going to be because it's got a weaker signal. Because the signal just goes through and then just weakens. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory stuff. And it's nice and well balanced. So if you have ships that want to stay away from people, then this will make it to where you can actually stay away from them. And yeah, it obviously won't work if your grid doesn't have any power, if you have a tool equipped, or if the locking system is disabled from your cockpit on your grid, then this will not work. And this is something that I really like so much. I have become such a big fan of dogfighting. I've been wanting to do that with my friends for a while. They're a little scared to do it, but you know, I mean, eventually we'll get there. This will hopefully make it easier for them. This will actually make combat with static-based weapons a lot easier in general. Because previously you just kind of had to like look at their range, guess their speed, and then kind of guess where you would have to fire after that. But now, I guess that ship is going sideways. Cat, stop it. Stop pressing the keyboard. Stop pressing the keys on the keyboard, okay? Okay? So, you know, now you can actually see you have basically an aiming system, which I don't know why that wasn't in before. Because rockets on a lot of fighters and stuff, unless if you're going up against a really large ship, wasn't very effective. Now they're more effective because you can actually better aim them out and then you can hit them. Now this is obviously going to be much better to use alongside with cameras, because you can zoom in with cameras, and so if someone's further away, then you can more accurately zero in on that little aiming reticle and then send it around. So if you try to avoid combat, try to avoid moving the same direction, kind of like spin or something. In the names of a once great Jedi, let's try spinning, because that's a neat trick. Spinning is a neat trick. So, you know, and you won't be able to lock on to anything, so you'll lose all these bonuses, these benefits, when they leave the 2 kilometer targeting range. They add in a radar system that can like enhance it. That'd be kind of cool, I guess. Or if you can just like if it makes it to where you can target lock onto multiple stuff. But I doubt they're gonna do that, because target lock seems, I don't want to say overpowered, because it's not really overpowered. Because even just sitting here, I'm thinking of different ways of how you can take advantage of it and really screw someone over just for locking onto you. So yeah, and then turrets, maximum engagement range has been increased. These artillery turrets have a 2,000 meter or a kilometer range. And if someone has a mod or something that can convert all this stuff into miles, the Imperial system, that'd be wonderful, because I can't visualize a kilometer or a meter as well as I can a mile. And I can't even accurately visualize a mile either, so I'm pretty dumb. So, turret targeting. Now, there is so much stuff you can do with turret targeting. So right now we're going to start up with this. Now you can copy a target to where you can have one set of turrets target one thing, and then another set of turrets target another. So you can kind of split fire, but I don't know if you're going to have multiple reticles or, you know, indicators. But you can basically copy a target and then paste a target on something else, or you can have them forget a certain target and move on to another. So you can really prioritize over different ships. So you can have someone, this is actually going to make multi-cruise ships a lot more useful, because trying to fly the ship, activating your defense systems, trying to repair everything, and is cycling between your targets, your priority targets, is going to be a little difficult to do on your own. So it's very important, and they give you a lot of tools here to make sure that you can actually do all this accurately, and not really accurately, you can do all this autonomously pretty well. But if you want to be more effective with it, this makes it to where cruise ships are actually more effective, because you have one person piloting, you have one person doing repairs, you have another person managing the weapon systems, and then cycling, and then you can have like a commander who's just overlaying everything and giving a basic general idea of what needs to happen, or you can do that separately. If you guys are in any roleplay servers, I was in quite a few, this just makes it a lot more immersive for those types of things as well. Like I said, combat range doesn't say anything about the Gatling or the rocket turret, but, and then on top of being able to copy and forget and to paste and to cycle different targets in general, you can then do a subsystem targeting where you can set up certain turrets to target an enemy weapons. You can have them target enemy propulsion systems or enemy power systems, and then you can also press a button to cycle those. So hopefully there's going to be a script that can show you maybe what groups or what's firing what, or what subsystem, what is set to what subsystem. So power includes the reactor, hydrogen 2 engine, battery, solar panel, and wind turbine. Anything that generates or stores power will be targeted. Weapons includes any static weapon, so the railgun, rocket launcher, Gatling turret, large and small grid, all the turrets, Gatling, rocket, artillery, and then the warheads. Those are what the weapons are going to target. And the propulsion is any kind of thruster, a gyroscope, or a jump drive. So it can make it to where you can disable their getaway, their escape. You can prevent them from moving very fast. You can make it to where it's harder for them to catch up to you, what have you, or you can set it to target weapons, take out their defenses or take out their offenses and get away, or you can have it to where it targets their warheads and then they can't really bomb, or they can't send out missiles after you, or you can set it up to power and then just fire everything you have into the main power system of the ship, because they can't do anything if they don't have power. So it's very important now on everyone's ships that you really guide and protect your power. I wish they would set up fuel systems, maybe for hydrogen. Maybe if they add in another type of fuel-based thruster, maybe like a plasma thruster. Maybe integrate the plasma thruster mod. Won't be opposed. I mean, it's expensive. Stop getting on it. No, Lily, Kitty. Not everything needs your kisses. Please don't stand on my keyboard. Don't do that. You can slap it with your tail all you want, but just don't stand on it. You're like 10 pounds. He's a big cat. So, that's pretty much how that works. Now the decoy, like I said before, they can have a signature, and they're always 10 times stronger than the actual system itself. So if you have like 10 thrusters, and then you have one decoy set to be a propulsion decoy or send out a propulsion signal, then that is equal, meaning one decoy will be targeted 10 times more often and 10 times more heavily than the actual system. So hopefully it's possible that you can set a decoy to be 2 out of 3, so that way you can kind of see, okay, they're going after this system, send out these decoys, or they're going after these multiple systems, or just so that way, you could probably set it to default. But yeah. Decoys, they decrease in priority with total block count, like I said. So, if you have 10 thrusters and 1 decoy, and the decoy is set to being a propulsion, then it's going to be half and half. If you have 9 thrusters, 1 decoy, then the decoy is going to be targeted more than the thrusters. So it's important to have a bunch of decoys on your ship that you can just fire out, send out, whatever, because they also decrease in priority with distance. So if you have decoys maybe as partly offensive, where let's say you are here, or no, the enemy is here and you're trying to run away, right? Then, or if you're engaging, you can make it to where decoys go closer towards them or kind of off course, so then they start firing in this direction, giving you more time to get away, because their turrets are just targeting those decoys coming closer to them, because they're higher priority, they have a stronger signal, they're getting closer, and it just keeps gunfire away from you. Stop looking at me like you're about to kill me, okay? I'm giving you pets giving you so many pets. You spoiled little brat. So, you know, and then you have target information, which is a brand new script you can have equipped onto your data terminals and whatnot. Basically, when you lock onto a ship, the primary lock-on will give you the faction at the top, the name of the grid, how far away it is, its relative velocity, its approach velocity, and then finally its mass. Relative velocity is its total speed it is moving within its currently set direction. Approach velocity will be how fast it is moving directly towards you. So, you know, the difference basically in pursuit, how fast they're going, the difference between your guys' two speeds. So if you're going 75 meters per second and someone's coming directly at you at 100 meters per second from behind, it is going to show approach velocity of 25 meters per second. If you guys are going head on at full speed, its approach velocity will be 200 meters per second, whereas its relative velocity will only be 100 meters per second. If they're going at an angle, I don't know how that math works. I don't want to give you an example, because if I'm wrong, people are going to make fun of me for it. And I'm already made fun of enough. I'm made fun of enough as it is around the house. So, you know, little siblings are dicks. And that's pretty much all that they're going to show us. There's probably going to be more stuff that they're just kind of like keeping hidden away for now, to kind of like give a bigger reveal. This could just be a teaser, or maybe this could be it. It's the whole under the hood thing. It's kind of got me. Where is it? Where on earth is it? Okay. It's this part right here that's kind of got me wondering what else are they bringing in, because they kind of show the decoy, but then they admitted that they're not showing everything. So since they're not showing everything, it's really making me think, what else is there that they're not even hinting at or showing at all? I mean, they kind of hinted at another weapon type. I mean, you have all these different artillery shells, these brand new weapons and such, and they said that they have an arsenal of new weapons coming in. They hinted at, where's that picture? This right here, just by simply having that picture in there, they hinted at a brand new weapon, because you can see the muzzle. So, you know, it seems small grids are also getting some attention, which is good. Which is good. I'm not complaining at all. That's a good thing. But yeah, this is pretty much their new release. It's coming out as early as 13 days from now. I think. I'm not good with calendars either. I'm not a smart person. I don't know what kind of person I am. I'm just not a smart one.
Kitty, would you stop?
So yeah. This is looking pretty great. This is looking like a lot of fun, guys. So tell me, comment down below what you think about these changes. It's definitely really weapon core inspired. So as long as they don't introduce shields, I'm pretty sure the community should be mostly okay with it. I'm okay with it as long as they don't add in shields. But yeah, this is looking pretty good. So yeah, I will see you all in the next one. Take care.